Today in the show, we're going to be talking about Anya Corazon, Spidergirl. If you didn't know that Ms. Marvel is technically her mother figure, then this show is for you. So Anya was on her first day of high school when she found herself in the middle of a fight between the Spider Society and the Sisterhood of the Wasp, and she was badly hurt, so badly hurt that she could die. So this is when a mage from the Spider Society gives her a tattoo that gives her spider-like powers and saves her life. And from this point onwards, she serves as a hunter for the Spider Society. Eventually, Anya interrogates a man from the Sisterhood of the Wasp, and he reveals that they have recruited a 15-year-old boy that is a descendant of Egyptian assassins, and this boy is supposed to be insanely powerful. And she quickly meets him, and he goes to her school, and his name is Amun. Anya and Amun get into a fight, and Amun threatens to attack Anya's friends and family should she oppose him. And Anya's dad just happened to be nearby, so she grabs him and takes him to safety. This whole situation does cause Anya to doubt herself, because if she's putting her friends and family in danger, what business does she have being a hero? And this is when she meets Spider-Man, and Spider-Man tells her, with great power comes great responsibility. Soon after this, Anya actually gets into a fight with Amun and almost kills him. This is because she releases something called the Spirit of the Hunter, and she's actually told not to do this again without Miguel nearby. Miguel is the mage that gave her her powers. She's then told the history of the organization that used to be huge but eventually split into wasps and spiders. And after this, Anya would end up saving Amun from a gunman, and after this, Amun promises not to target her friends and family, which was really sweet for a murderous asshole to say. So Anya had this ability to produce this spider-like exoskeleton, and it actually turned out that this wasn't an ability from being a hunter. So this meant that Anya was never meant to be a hunter for the Web Corps. So she renounced this, passed the mantle on to someone else who was more worthy of the title, who was actually in the Web Corps from birth, then left to go and carve her own destiny. When Civil War comes about, Anya has to register, and she ends up teaming up with Ms. Marvel and Wonder Man, which was kind of crappy because this was her training, and I don't understand why she needed training when she already had her own solo career. She then goes on a mission to capture Arachne, and they would eventually capture her and separate her from her daughter. And this strikes a chord with Anya because obviously she lost her mother at a very young age, and she doesn't want to be a part of something that's going to separate children from their mothers. Later on in a fight against Doomsday Man, Ms. Marvel would need help, so Anya would step in. And this is when her exoskeleton is violently ripped off of her, hurting her fatally. She would recover, but her father puts up a restraining order against Ms. Marvel, meaning Anya has lost her second mother figure. But this doesn't stop her from teaming up with Ms. Marvel and Arachne later on to help Arachne find her daughter. Later on, Puppet Master would put her under his control, and he tells Anya to kill Ms. Marvel, and Anya won't do it. She is able to break the control of Puppet Master because he gave her the wrong command. She cannot kill who is essentially her mother. She can't lose a second mother in her lifetime. Eventually, the Kravinoff family would begin to hunt spiders, and Anya would be captured alongside Julia Carpenter and Madame Web. After this experience, Julia Carpenter actually gained Madame Web's powers because Madame Web died and passed her powers on to her. So this meant there was now a gap in the spider family. So Julia Carpenter gives Anya her old costume, and this is when Anya starts going by the name Spidergirl against her will. It's also worth noting that by this point, Anya was stripped of her powers, leaving her totally defenseless. She would later start using the name Spidergirl, and right as this happened, her father is killed. This is around the time she starts going solo again. It turns out that her father was killed by an organization. It wasn't a great story.
Eventually Spider Island would come about, and I'm gonna be honest, Anya wouldn't do anything individually important through Spider Island, but it is worth noting some things. First off, she would work with the All-Mother, Kingpin, and Hobgoblin. This is because Madam Web actually told her that she had to figure out who her enemies were and work with them. This is because sometimes you do have to work with your enemies. And by the end of this event, she ends up getting a copy of Spider-Man's powers, meaning she has essentially her original powers once again. Then, shortly following this, it's Spiderverse.
But what you need to take note of is that thanks to her past with the Spider Society, she was actually able to read the Inheritor's scrolls, so the Spider Army could figure out what was going on, all thanks to her. Then at the end of this story, she actually stayed with Captain UK in Loon World to make use of her knowledge of the Spider Totems. Now, the next time we'd see her was in Secret Wars, which is still going, and she's in the Spider-Verse title. Obviously, Secret Wars is still going on, so I can't really talk about it, and after Secret Wars, she's going to be in the Web Warriors title, which I am really looking forward to. I really do like Anya as a character. I wish there was more to talk about in terms of her character development, but she hasn't actually developed that much since she first appeared. She just keeps hitting the same notes. Like, you'd think her going by the name Spidergirl would be a huge deal, but it really wasn't. She kind of resisted it at first and then accepted it later on. So, I don't know. I wish there was just more to talk about in terms of this character. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of Anya? Please leave me in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon if you want to see bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my vlogging channel if you'd like to start your day with me every single day. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.